Jakey, how long have we known each other? Question number one.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we are like OG, like
Right?
OG.
What year was it?
Friends.
2008, 2009, 2008?
2008, 2007, 2008.
Oh my
I know.
God.
For those that don't know, I'm Jake and I work here at Queerty, and I was asked to interview the Mark Indelicato.
That's
And I was like, don't tempt me with a good time. I was like, twist my arm. I adore you. And I was so excited to jump on this opportunity to chat with you. You have been in the industry for such a long time. And, I think like everybody knows you as Justin Suarez.
right.
And did you ever think that that character would have the longevity in its fandom that it's had?
At the time, of course, when we were making it, I didn't think, you never really think about that when it's happening. But I think that in hindsight, yes. I mean, I think the legacy of the show is so important just to television history in general and LGBTQ plus history in general. I mean, I think that it has become one of the kind of pillars of LGBTQ representation on television, as well as like Latinx representation, like, Vanessa Williams representation.
Period.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's also so incredible now, 16 years later, to see where all of us have gone and like what we've all gone on to do subsequently. And also while like simultaneously maintaining that familial relationship that we all have, like we really still operate in so many ways in that like group mentality. We just keep in touch and we just really, really love each other. And we're so supportive of one another. Like, I can't express it enough. It's kind of like the biggest family I've ever had.
We kind of just need to at least, honor our time with Ugly Betty. I feel like there were seasons where it was like guest star after guest star after guest star. And
it was every like heavy hitter guest stars.
Heavy hitters. We had Lilo. Remember when Lilo was
did, who could forget? I always did love my time like at Mode. I mean, I loved all of the stuff with Michael, of course, and Vanessa. But I remember, I think that my favorite memory for the gays is it's in the first season, and it's Justin's first time at Mode. It's like very early on in the first season, and it's when I get Amanda for wearing last season Manolos. The funny part about it was that I did not know how to pronounce Blahnik. And so I kept calling the Manolo Blotniks. And there was like, at a certain point, they were like, girl, it's just take the T out. I was like, I also was like 11. I was like 11, okay? I was an 11-year-old boy from suburban Pennsylvania, okay?
I loved when you would interact with them with any Mode, because you were clearly like the ascension of Wilhelmina Slater. Like it was like Justin knew more about fashion than everybody. So,
or when I was hiding in the coat racks and they call me the fashion elf. That was funny. I like that. Well, and then oh my God! So today I was on Instagram, and this Ugly Betty fan page posted a Justin then and a Justin now. And I had totally forgotten that I had done that bad romance thing in Betty.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I responded to them and was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I had totally forgotten. They were like, oh, like I wish that you were actually like inspired by Ugly Betty to do this. I was like, girl, I forgot that this happened. Okay. It was like,
you know what?
It was like 14 years ago.
Secret Celebrity Drag Race was inspired by Ugly Betty by way of Mark Indelicato.
That's right.
That's really what it is.
It wasn't until I was probably like a freshman in college that my friends and I got into Drag Race and like really discovered Drag Race as if we were the first people to ever discover it. Like that's how it felt. Like it was like, what is this? And we like really made a huge event out of it. And that carried through like my entire college career, like 2012 to 2016. It was like, every week we watched, we drink wine, smoke a joint, and like pretend that we were Michelle Visage, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, oh no, oh, I hate that look, you know, whatever it was. Yep. And then of course, you know, during finals week or something, we would be so exhausted, so burnt out from like writing like our essays or our papers or our tests and whatever, that we would have, I mean, and so many of my friends can attest to this, that we would have like lip sync interludes where each of us got to pick one song and we would all lip sync for our lives together. I did feel very much like there was nothing about it for me in participating in the show that was about like winning. Like I really did not come in with the intention of winning. I came in with the intention of not going home first. By the time I lip synced for my life 3 times, I was like, all right, the is this? You know what I mean? Like, why am I still here? But the first 2 times it was just kind of like, all right, well, if I go home, then like whatever, you know, like it was, I only got in my head at the very, in the very last one, because I was just like, why are you guys keeping me here? You know, like I was very dumbfounded by it. Also because like Donna had just won the challenge the week before and I had been in the bottom twice. And so, and I'd never won a challenge. Which, you know, I'm glad that they kept me though, because that was Snatch Game. I mean, also something from Drag Race that I have to mention is that I loved, even though I was in the bottom working with Katya, they told us that we were doing the duets and they told us that we were going to have like a Drag Race queen come on. Cool. And they were like, who would be like your top 3? And I was just like, Katya, and Katya. I was like, I want no one except Katya. Katya came in and they had to cut it out because it was still secret at that point. But she does like one of the Deborah Vance's lines from Hacks, because she's watched Hacks like 3 times.
Oh, she's a huge fan. I was going to mention that. Yeah.
She's a huge fan. And she was like, Damien, I need you to go to the computer store. And then she came in, but they couldn't put it in because we hadn't revealed ourselves yet. She's a huge fan of the show. I mean, like she just loves Hacks so much. I mean, she like when we were rehearsing and stuff, I remember her saying to me, she was like, all I want is for Deborah Vance to hit me with her Rolls Royce. And I was like, I feel like we could arrange that. Like, I feel like there is like, that fits into the Hacks world to like run Katya over with a car. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just so excited for what's to come for you and your budding and blooming career all the time. You never stop surprising me and all of your fans. On behalf of Queerty, like, we can't thank you enough for your time. And
thank you,
I love you, adore you, and I'm going to go dye my hair red now. You're such an influencer.
Be careful. It runs on your pillowcases.